Hello everybody and welcome to our introduction to the free and almost fully funded Skills Bootcamps that HB Excel are offering as part of the government's upskilling programme. So today we're going to be talking about HB Excel's 4 Skills Bootcamp for people in construction or those wanting to get into construction. Okay, so we've got lots to talk about today, but first we'll do some introductions. So my name's Joanna Mulgrew and I'm the Managing Director of HB Excel Group of software and services and training companies. And here today we're part of the Skills Academy. I'll firstly introduce you to Becky Allward, who is our course administrator and manages the day-to-day of the course. Becky, I don't know if you'd like to say hi.
Hi, good evening everyone. I'm Becky. I, as Joe said, deal with the day-to-day running of the courses. So I'm your point of contact for any questions or queries, help keep you all on track and take your registers.
Becky has dealt with a lot of the enrolment queries as well, and we also have another lady on hand for you, Shannon Saxer-Lewis, who can deal with your application inquiries. And Tom, would you like to introduce yourself as one of our course tutors?
Hi, I'm Thomas Brooks. I am the lead tutor on the CAD sessions and I teach estimating as well. I have a background in construction, roofing specifically. So I have a little bit of a level of knowledge on all subjects required, some experience to throw in there as well.
Cool, thank you, Tom. So the 4 skills bootcamps that HB Excel offer are as follows. So we have our CAD for profitable takeoffs. So if you're interested in estimating better, but using CAD as the front end for your estimating, that's the skills bootcamp for you. We separately have an estimating skills for a thriving construction firm, and that is using estimating software to improve your estimating. We also have a CAD for construction course, so that's different from the CAD for profitable takeoffs in that it's about generating building plans from scratch. And finally, we have our business skills for a successful construction firm course. Okay, so that is all the tools that you would need to run your building company successfully and run a successful site. Okay, so that's our first slide there into the courses. That's our 4 courses: CAD for profitable takeoffs, estimating skills, CAD for construction, and business management skills. So what we're going to run through today is what the skills bootcamps are in a little bit more detail, the dates, the locations, how much it's going to cost you, brackets, it's often free for most learners, and we'll give you an outline to each of the courses, should I say, and a little bit more on the application process. And then if we have some time at the end, we'll be talking questions and answers. So if you've got any questions, you can type them into the chat box at the bottom of the screen or on the side panel, depending on how you're set up there. All right, so let's crack on. So what are skills bootcamps then exactly? Well, the Department for Education are funding various kind of career plans and paths, and ours is obviously for construction, but there are skills bootcamps in coding, in project management, in childcare. These are, from an HB Excel perspective, all in construction though, as I say, and they're a Department for Education initiative. And as such, they're encouraging small building firms or people wanting to get into the industry to take up the free or largely funded places for the skills bootcamp. So you can attend, depending on your background, either for free or with a small 10% fee to pay for the training. And we'll talk in more detail about what that means so you know exactly what you might be in for. So there is an element of sector-specific upskilling, and the government does recognise that certain areas, such as things like cyber security or construction or digital marketing, do require more people into the industry. So that's great if you're looking at getting into construction, because there are many courses that are funded. And as we were saying before, our courses are digital, so they're delivering CAD, for example, CAD for construction, or CAD for takeoffs, or use of estimating software, for example. And the programs have all been developed with SME building companies, that's small to medium-sized building companies, to ensure that the content of the course is, as they would describe, as fit for purpose. So that means it covers the kind of topics and in a flow, logical flow through the course that meets the requirements for small businesses. And we take on people's advice and thoughts from existing learners and learners who've been through the boot camps before, and we tweak our courses to match the current requirements. So they are absolutely designed around the builder requirements. And it's a kind of fast track training. So you'll see in a moment that the courses are between 8 and 10 weeks. So they're not very long. And there's a weekly commitment throughout the course. So you can very quickly get into a very specific role with this training. So what are the courses ideal for? So it might be that you're wanting to get a new job. You could perhaps have been made redundant and you're just simply looking at retraining to get into a new career. It might be that you are already within a construction company, but you want to upskill and increase your responsibilities and therefore salary through an upskill. It might be that your employer wants to put you through the course, or you want to retain good staff by training them. Lots of businesses do lose staff because they don't put a focus on improving and developing their talent. It might be that you're a small business and you're just getting off the ground. You might have just set up your own building company and you're thinking, I don't quite know where to start, or my estimating is a bit off. It could be that you are already in business and you're just wanting a leg up. You'd like some support. Running a building company can be quite a lonely game. And part of our boot camps is bringing like-minded construction firms together that aren't your competitors. They're not necessarily in your stomping ground. We cover quite large geography, but so you'll just get to meet with other fellow construction firm owners or proprietors, or even just people within roles such as estimating or CAD technicians, and you can kind of share best practice and the woes of your role. So it's a really nice way of actually getting together with others in a similar place as you and training together. All right. So why now? Why is now the ideal time? Well, you might be thinking, because it's in advance of Christmas, you think in the new year I would really like to get into a new role, or I'd like to improve how I do business. So it's a really important time for that. I know that everyone thinks of the new year as a bit of a resolution to improve, to change. So it is a cracking time to be thinking about it. But obviously in the background, we've all got the cost of living crisis occurring. We're all impacted by that. There's a lot of pressure on businesses and on employees. So I think taking great advantage of the Skills Bootcamps and the funding right now can help you grow your business or help you improve your own confidence, your own role, your own skill base to improve your own opportunities. And obviously there is a lot of competition out there for jobs, not only jobs as in getting a job, but actually winning building work and other building firms actually competing with you for the same work. I think it's quite competitive out there. So great reason to take part in the boot camps now. So what are the key benefits of the Skills Bootcamp program with HBXL? Well, firstly, you're trained by multiple tutors on the courses, so you get different perspectives, you get a different voice, different opinion, different face, different technique of learning. So you get to see multiple experts, and there's minimal outlay. So it's either free or the 10% cost, which we'll touch on in a moment. And it's going to help you, if you're already in business, to improve your processes, improve how you estimate, save money on outsourcing if it's CAD, improve your site management and the health and safety of your sites. So it's all about improving how a building firm is run. Obviously improves your professional skills. And we have other modules such as presentation skills, getting your quoting right, how to calculate profits, how to present the documentation if it's health and safety, for example, or your building contracts. It's all about professionalising how you do business. And ultimately, if you're in building already, securing a long-term future in the industry. And if you're just getting into the industry, it's your first port of call to fast track you into it. And it's an exciting industry. All right, so what do you get at the end of attendance of the boot camp? So I know that sounds a little bit silly because we haven't talked about the detail of the boot camps yet, but just so you know what you get out the other end of it, and then we'll talk specific courses. So you get a certificate of attendance with all the modules that you have been on. There's a career progression plan, so what is going to happen next? And if you're already in business, it's a really great way to develop an action plan for yourself within the business, so you can work out how you are going to apply the skills and all your learning going forwards. And if you're coming into the boot camp as an unemployed learner, you're guaranteed a job interview if that's relevant for you at the end of the Skills Bootcamp. And for a good 6 months after the bootcamp finishes, you will have the mentoring of the technical tutors and the job skills tutors with you every step of the way to ensure that you apply your learning and best practice. So we're here with you on the bootcamp and beyond. So who delivers the courses? Well, that's through HBXL Skills Academy and our partners CP Education. And is also supported by the Better Business Group, who is a mentor to builders around the country and provides advice and support to building companies. And it's also supported by local authorities, and we'll talk about the regions where this is fully funded through the Department for Education. So there are only specific regions at the moment that are funded. So which regions are covered? So you need to have construction projects or live in and around one of the following locations. So New Anglia, so that's kind of the East Anglia part of the country, but namely Norfolk, Suffolk, Tendring, Essex, and in some instances Cambridge and Peterborough, if you are actually doing project work into East Anglia. All right, so you must be, if you're in Cambridge or Peterborough, you must have work going on in the New Anglia area over kind of like the border, if you like. We also have funding for the Liverpool City region, so that covers the following areas. That's Hulton, Liverpool, Knowlesy, Sefton, Wirral and St Helens. If you have project work or resident in those areas, you'd also be can receive up to 100% funding. And then the area of Lancashire, the Lancashire Localised Enterprise Partnership. So I won't read every one of those. There's quite a big area that is covered by the Lancashire funding. It's one of the biggest regions, or the biggest enterprise partnerships, I should say, in the country. So it covers quite a big geography. So if you've got projects in and around there, or you're resident in these areas, you would receive funding as well. So that leads us to, well, what funding do you receive? Well, the cost of the courses is actually free if you're currently unemployed, or if you're self-employed, either within your limited company, and there's a note there that you mustn't be running a payroll though within your limited company, or you're a sole trader. Okay, so that's free if you're unemployed, you're self-employed, either as a sole trader or within your limited company, but you mustn't run a PAYE scheme. If, however, you do run a small business with a PAYE scheme, you pay just 10%, and then the government pays the other 90%. So, for example, one of our courses might cost you £348 plus the VAT. So that is 10% of the full training cost, and the government funds the rest of that. Okay. So who is eligible for the funding? So you need to be 19 years of age, 19 plus years of age, I should say. You could be in work, self-employed, recently unemployed, or returning to work after a break. And importantly, you must have the right to work in the UK. And also you need to have been living here for 3 years if you've come from overseas and have evidence that you have been here for that long. So let's have a look at a couple of the courses. So first we're going to look at the CAD for Profitable takeoffs. So this is one of our digital courses, as you'd expect. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design, and it's using CAD to take off building plans. That means capture the geometry of your building plans and estimate the quantities of everything involved, the materials, the labour, the plant, subcontractor, sundry, and then cost it and estimate it. So that's a 10-week course, and that's on Fridays, 10 o'clock till 4:30 p.m. And there's a half an hour for lunch in between as well, and obviously plenty of coffee breaks as well to break up the learning. And that starts on the 5th of January and it ends on the 8th of March. So you do need to sign up for that one very soon, this side of Christmas, within the next week or two, because it is going to be January before we know it, and the course starting on the Friday, the 5th of January. So that's that one. And the course in brief then is about developing your skills to take off a plan. So taking off a plan, as I was saying before, means capturing the geometry and the shape of the building that's on the plan, in order that you can then fire that information into a piece of estimating software called Estimator Express. And whilst you're doing your takeoff, you're telling the software what that item, that object is made from, what is it built of, to get your estimate. You'll also learn more about project costing, about profits and what you should be charging. You'll be learning about building contracts and stage payments, and also tips on growing and promoting your business. So there's several modules that are all about taking your business up another gear. But clearly, right at the start of the course, you do need to have a grounding in what is the digital built environment. Why would I use digitization? Why would I use digital tools in construction? So we introduce you to the benefits of digitization and what's known as building information modeling, or BIM. You'll also be introduced to how to read building plans, and even if you're experienced in that, it's a really good module, as many people actually don't read them particularly well. So there'll be a module on how to read building plans in the first place. And then you'll progress on to how to actually do the digital takeoffs using the software. And there's various projects. So you'll be looking at a house, an extension, and a loft conversion. And the projects slowly get harder to do as you progress through the course and as you gain experience. You'll also look at printing off your project costing reports and your material scheduling, and having a look at the build program. You'll also be looking at the kind of profit margins and overheads you should be charging, and ultimately how to quote effectively, how to respond to a customer's requirement for a quote. There'll also be content on how to improve your pitch when you're talking to customers. And as we said before, looking at contracts, deposits and stage payments and best practice there. Finally, the last couple of modules are around health and safety in construction, because actually when estimating and pricing building work, health and safety can have quite an impact on the cost of the building work. And it wraps up with presentation skills to give you confidence that when you've finished your takeoff, you can provide that to your client with confidence. And there's loads more in the course, but that's a quick roundup of the course syllabus, which leads us nicely onto the estimating skills for a thriving construction firm. Now, this boot camp starts a little bit later, and we'll be giving you the dates in just a moment. So it's an 8-week course. So this one's slightly shorter in duration, but you have 2 sessions a week on a Monday and a Wednesday, and those are 2 till 6 p.m. and again a break in between. It starts on the 5th of February and it ends on the 27th of March. So it's quite a short burst, impactful course. As I say, 2 afternoons, should I say, a week. So you're in and out and done with this particular course. So in brief, what is it about? Well, it's about improving the accuracy of your estimating. So if you're already estimating building projects as part of your role, it's going to help improve how you do it and the accuracy of what you produce. And if you haven't done estimating before, it's going to be a really good introduction to estimating and how to do it. And you're going to be doing all of that using a piece of software called Estimator Express to produce really quality estimates and quotations that are really accurate. And you're also going to learn about profit margins, overheads, contracts and deposits, just like in the CAD for Profitable Takeoff course. Again, like the Takeoff course, you're going to get a grounding in the digital built environment and also, again, how to read building plans. But rather than when you're reading the building plans in this particular course, rather than you using CAD to capture the geometry and the specification of the building plans, you're going to be entering that into the piece of estimating software directly. And you're going to be looking at the project costings and your materials requirements, and as well as things like Gantt charts and what have you off the back of that. You're going to be estimating a house, some extension work, conversion project, and also, a loft conversion rather, should I say, and some renovation work. And again, those projects start with the easiest, a house project, a new build, and then all the way into kind of renovation work, which gets a little bit more complicated as you go. And it shows you how to use the software to generate those costings. Again, you're going to be looking at profit margins and overheads because, you know, no successful project is going to make you any money if you get those wrong. So we focus time on profit margins and overheads. We then move on to contracts, deposits and staged payments. So how do you get paid properly and make sure that you walk the project? Again, there's some more marketing oriented modules, so promoting your business and moving your business at market, how to, as you raise your prices, how to underline your value, basically, how to premiumize your business and charge your worth. And like the Takeoff course, it finishes with the health and safety, so identifying risks that are going to add to the cost of the building project as you're estimating it. And also finally, presentation skills, how to present your quotation with confidence. We then move on to the CAD for Construction course. So this is very much about how to generate building plans using computer aided design. And this is very much residentially focused. So the projects that we look at for that are things like houses, extensions, loft conversions, etc. So it's very much residential focused, but they are skills that you can take and apply in other environments. So I know that we've had people come on the CAD for Construction who've ended up kind of going into, say, things like engineering or doing civils CAD. So it's a really good starting point to getting into CAD. So this one's an 8-week course, again, short and impactful. It's on a Tuesday and Thursday, and that's 2 till 6 p.m. again, so twice per week. And that starts on the 6th, so the Tuesday the 6th of February, should I say, and ends on the 28th of March. So you've got a really good, solid 8 weeks of learning on the CAD for Construction course. So in brief, you are going to gain some exceptional CAD skills on this course, which is specifically designed for construction using the platform Plans Express, which you will have access to for the duration of the course. And I should say, no matter what course you're on, during the course, where there is software to be used, you have access to this for absolutely free of charge. There's no charge for that. So we will provide you with the platforms that you need to download to your computer. You will end up producing building regulation quality building plans and elevations by the end of the course. And I've seen some of the portfolios of the CAD for Construction Skills Bootcamp, and they are fantastic. I was also going to say fabulous, so both fabulous and fantastic. So you will too by the end of the program. So you're going to be drawing plans for a house, an extension and a loft conversion. And Tom, I think they get a bespoke, they get a custom project, something that they want to generate for themselves. Is that right?
Yeah, there's an opportunity to take the skills learned through, say, going through the template projects and apply that to something of their own choice. And it could be anything really. It could be a house, extension, renovation. We've had a bowling alley. So yeah, we imagination is the limit, but there's also, I encourage constraint the designs, focus on what limitations you can impose upon yourself to get the best out of what you're trying to create. Small spaces, very creative, and interesting solutions to that is the best way to kind of look at that.
Yes.
And basically, at the end of it, someone will be able to have not only just the portfolio stuff generated from what we've gone through in the course, but their own personal project that they can then share with others and show, this is the kind of thing I can produce off my own back effectively. This is what I'm capable of.
So you'll end up with a great portfolio to present to potential customers or potential employers if you are looking for new work, as in if you're coming to the course unemployed. Similarly, with the CAD for Profitable Takeoffs and the estimating course, you will end up with a portfolio of work at the end, which kind of demonstrates your competence. So in a bit more detail, you'll see there's a little bit of a thread here within the construction modules, in the construction skills boot camps, because you have to have in all of these courses a grounding in similar things. Okay, so you can't do draft building plans if you don't know what a building plan looks like, if you can't read a plan. So what we're wanting to do is make sure that whatever course you go into, that you have the basics of construction. All right, so again, in the CAD for construction, you're going to start with the digital built environment and an introduction to that. You're then going to start learning about how to read building plans, and then you are going to draw your first project, which is a house. So you're going to be drawing the ground floor, the first floor, adding detail. You're going to end up with a 3D model, and it's going to be fully detailed as would be expected to go through planning. And then there'll be a little bit more on reading building plans as they get more complicated. So for example, if you're doing something like a loft conversion and you're going to be adding to an existing property, what are you looking for on the plan? So your case studies there, so the portfolio effectively are the new build, the extension, the loft, and your own custom project. And then you're going to end up looking at the cost of the work, because normally when you design work, people then say, and how much is it going to cost? So what this course also does is touches on project costing and materials takeoffs. It's not the major focus of this particular course. That is covered in other courses, but we do touch on it within the CAD for construction, so you'll get some experience of that. You'll also get some experience of health and safety in design in this instance. So it's identifying risks when designing and understanding your own design responsibilities from the health and safety perspective. And again, how to present your designs, how to present your portfolio, and gaining confidence in doing that. So that is our CAD for construction. And finally, we have our business skills for a thriving construction firm or a successful construction firm. So this is all about the general behaviours and tools you need to run a successful building project and a successful construction firm. So this is a 9-week course. This is on Fridays, 10 till 4:30 as well. And it starts on the 2nd of February, so that's Friday the 2nd of February, and it ends on the 29th of March. And you get lots of check-in throughout the course to help support you going forward. And in fact, you do on all of the courses. We check in with you throughout to make sure that you have the job skills support that you need to have a successful outcome from the end, at the end of the course. Because obviously, by the end of any of these courses, we want you to feel that you have made significant progress, that you know how to successfully apply the skills that you've learned in the chosen field, and you can confidently walk into successful and profitable work. So this one, as I say, starts on a Friday, 2nd of February. Okay, so this is an 8-week course, and at the end of that, on the 9th week, actually you have a triple STS, so that's the CITB Site Supervisor Training Scheme qualification. When we say option there, some learners may already have it, and then they can use that 9th week as a refresher. If you already have your triple STS today, you could actually swap that for the SMSTS, I always get that wrong. So that's the Site Manager Safety Training Scheme equivalent. Okay, so but you will do one of those by the end of the course and get your accreditation. Okay, so in brief, you're going to develop your management skills, so how you run your company and how you run a site. You're going to learn loads on this course. It's jam-packed. So you're going to learn about costing, about profits, contracts, stage payments, and so on. You're going to learn about how to grow your business, promote your business. You're going to gain health and safety skills, and also the CITB Site Supervision Safety Course accreditation, so the triple STS at the end of it. So in a bit more detail, and as I say, this one is jam-packed. So it starts with planning for success, how to plan for a successful building company and a successful building project. It all starts in the planning. You'll also understand the benefits of digitization. So that's effectively using software, how to use software to improve your building projects and the outcomes. You're going to look at some project costing and material takeoffs and understand why this is so important in construction. You're going to use some estimating tools as well, such as Estimator Express, to gain some experience in project costing, but this is at a much higher level than if you were on the estimating course. Okay, so it's in no way in as much detail on the estimating side as the estimating skills course is, which is 100% focused on that. Again, there's no point in taking on any building project if you are not making a profit. So it looks at profit margins and overheads, looking at quoting effectively, contracts, deposits, stage payments, understanding your business model and cash flow and how that can make or break your building company. You're going to touch on things like promoting your business, how to move your business up a gear, how to improve your customer pitch. It's also going to look at important topics such as mental health, circular economy, equality, diversity and inclusion awareness, all really important topics which are essential to any successful building firm. So not only from a regulatory perspective, are you meeting your own duties in these areas, but also by understanding these areas, you can improve how your company is run and also take on the best talent in your area, no matter the background of that particular person. So mental health, circular economy, equality, diversity and inclusion. And as I said before, you're going to learn about health and safety in construction and the importance of this. You're going to be introduced to the regulations. You're going to be introduced to a health and safety software platform to help you produce all the necessary documentation. And you're going to finish off with the CITB's Site Supervision Safety Training Scheme. And that includes the cost of taking that qualification as well. So right at the end, we will book you in once we think you are prepared for that in the 9th week. Okay. I think we've got a few questions that have come in, and Becky's going to have been chairing that, I think, Becky. So I don't know if you can throw some of those out there, please.
So I've got, I am not a builder myself, but I would like to get into the industry. Could I do any of the course without much building knowledge?
Tom, would you like to answer that one?
So I'll mute myself a second. There we go. Yes, you can get into the course without much building knowledge, except of course it would mean that you'll be playing catch up, but we do describe all the terminology and say if there's anything you don't quite grasp on the first round, more than happy to bring people up on the terminology that we're using as we're progressing through the course. There are sections where we do discuss initially, touching on plans, design, the built environment, where we talk about the various features of the builds, so then you become familiar with some of the things that we're going to be using as we progress. But the whole idea of the course is to bring people up to a bootcamp standard, bringing everything up to a good solid starting point for any further jump into the industry. And we've got the people on the course, the tutors, myself, Andy and so forth, that we're more than happy to field questions if you're not quite sure what certain terminology is, because if there's anything I can assure you of is that there's builders out there that still aren't sure of all the terminology themselves.
Yeah, and we do offer one-to-ones, don't we, Tom? So that if anybody's thinking, oh, you know, I've got on okay so far, but I'm a bit stuck on this module, and can I get some assistance? We do have one-to-ones, and you have plenty of learners in one-to-one sessions outside the core learning hours, don't you?
Yeah, so we can book in one-to-ones, like say an hour or two, just to say if you're feeling like you are falling behind a little bit, or you don't manage to get everything done in the session, bring you up to speed there, or if you're feeling that you want to focus on a certain section on in questions, be it either estimating or in CAD, we just want to review some of the work you've done, make sure you're keeping up to pace, or you got something of your own interest that you want to kind of focus in on to see if you can improve upon in the course. Whatever the need may be, you know, we'll be able to kind of help you with that, book that one-to-one session in, and yeah, hopefully leave you with all your questions answered and happy to continue on with the course.
Tom, I've just had a thought, if you don't mind me interjecting. All of our learners, as they join the boot camps, we ask you to undertake what we call a personal development plan, sometimes called a PDP. And what we do is we ask you to have a think about the key areas as you join the course where you feel you need to strengthen up. So if you are coming to the boot camp with, you know, without too much knowledge, you can be outlining that, and then what we can do is signpost you to extra support, extra reading, extra training, extra one-to-ones, which will help you in those areas. So we recognise everyone is going to be joining the boot camp at a slightly different starting point. So you're really keen on those, aren't you, Tom, to get everybody's personal development plans in right at the start?
Yes, say that, like I say, with the personal development plans and things like the VARC, which is basically like how you like to learn. It allows us to, as Joe said, signpost or just understand what would be the best way to deliver and what material would be the best to deliver, where to spend the most time on to focus on. So if we get everyone's PDPs in, everyone's got a building background, then we can talk about certain subjects that everyone will be comfortable with. If not, then we can start afresh on cover some other ground and make sure everyone is on, as we're hitting the actual CAD drawing side of things, is all, let me say, happy, understanding, and good to go. With the personal development plans as well, because we ask you to fill them out at the very beginning, so we can see what you want to get from the course, what it is you want to learn, what you want to focus on, then say we can aim to match that and hopefully go beyond what you've hoped to learn from the course. And with that as well, you can actually update that as you go through the course. So if you feel that you've attained those levels of learning that you want to go through, or you've discovered something else through the course, you say, that's really piqued my interest, I want to maybe learn about that a little bit more in the future, you can put that down in your PDP log as well and take it with you after you finish the course. So it acts as a diary of things you want to work on, improve upon on yourself, and what you want to do next.
Cool. Right, Becky, I understand there's another question that you've got there.
Yeah, what's the difference between the estimating course and the CAD for profitable takeoffs? So Tom, that's probably one firing at you again, sorry.
No, that's all right, that's what I'm here for. So the CAD for profitable takeoffs focuses on using the takeoff aspects of the CAD software to use it to visualize what you're estimating. Acts as a great checking tool effectively to see if what you're estimating can actually be built, for starters, and also a visual checklist of what you've drawn, you're going to be estimating it. That then, once you've done the CAD side of things, will then import into the estimating side of things, so that produces the estimate, and then you can add the finishing flourishes, such things that you can't really draw, like your subcontractors. Now, as much as you want to put stickmen on the page, it's best to put them in as a separate figure. With the estimating side of things, we look at using predefined templates and also custom templates, so you can build up bespoke estimates without having to do any drawing. You can just do it directly via inputs, allowing you to build up an estimate directly within the software, going through checklists, reading off, say, a set of sample plans to begin with as well. So we're still providing some information so you can learn how to read off a set of plans as you're going along, instead of just taking off, reading off, and still effectively ending up with the same end goal of producing reports and an estimate, just a different way of going about it. And other people say people have different preferred methods of how they do things. Some people do things visually, They like to be able to get their hands onto something, draw around it, and the CAD sits perfectly with them. Other people like to read, note down, be kind of analytical, maybe come from a very Excel-based background, whereas then directly into Estimator would suit them to a T.
Thank you. I think another one's coming, Becky.
Yeah. Do I need to be good at maths?
Oh, that's an interesting one. So when any learner joins our boot camps, what we ask you to do is take a mini assessment. So don't get scared when I say the word assessment. What we do is we just try to understand your starting point, okay, from a maths perspective. Because estimating and taking off, yeah, you do use maths. However, it's the software doing the hard work for you and doing all the calculations. So, you don't have to be doing so. But obviously having, circa GCSE type level maths and English is obviously handy. But when we do that assessment in the first place, you do that on an online platform called BKSB. You then have some supporting training material around it that you can do at your own pace to improve areas that you may or may not have done so well in, so that you can improve your underlying maths and English skills whilst you're on the course. That's at no additional cost. You just get access to that tool set and you can see how you're progressing yourself. So no, you don't need to be a fantastic mathematician to join the boot camps, but you do probably want to be kind of GCSE-ish equivalent. You don't have to have that, but you will be doing a mini assessment at the start just to see where you're at. And then, as I say, the platform will help you as like a virtual tutor, shall we say, to improve your maths whilst you're on the boot camp as well. Hope that answers the question.
I've got another one. What is the age of the oldest person who's done the course? I'm not a youngster.
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it, Tom? Because we have a completely wide range of learners. Yes, Tom, what would you say? Probably 60 something?
Yeah, late 60s, definitely. I might even be 70, I'm not sure. I try not to pry.
It would be rude of us to ask.
But no, there's definitely a very wide range of ages.
Yes.
We've had people straight in say 19, just be able to get on the course. Yeah, all treated the same.
All the way through.
Yeah, you say I was going to add on to the maths question there. Let's say I've actually had to sit those tests myself in the past, and if I can get through them, I'm pretty confident most people can as well.
Absolutely, yeah. They're not designed to trip people apart. They're designed to help, and we don't use them as a ruling someone in or out of the courses. It's actually really to just work out where you're at so we can best support you on the course. Okay, so that's the age question. Was there another one at all, Becky, before we start wrapping up today?
Can I do the course even if my boss doesn't want to pay the 10%?
Yes, because if your employer is putting you on the course, then they would have to pay the 10%. If you are looking at retraining and going into a different industry or upskilling and we're going to work for another company, you can absolutely undertake that course. Obviously, as long as you're you have the time off work to apply to the course, because it does take a little bit of time and effort to obviously go through them. So as long as you've got the time to do it, you're absolutely welcome, and then that would be free of charge for you. So yeah, we have learners doing that, definitely.
Okay, and just one more, and this is probably actually quite an important one, is what's the deadline for the courses? I guess that's for the applications.
Yes, absolutely. So you've got me slightly on the hop here. So for the takeoff course, because that starts at the beginning of January, so I think that was the 5th of January, we really do need your applications in by mid-December. Okay, so you can get, and actually a very important question is, how do I apply? I guess so the applications closing dates and the how to go through the application process, I'll just give you a few slides now. So the 15th of December is the CAD for Profitable Takeoffs enrolment close date. And for CAD for construction, the estimating skills and the business management skills for construction is the 19th of January. So you've got a bit more time to think about those over the Christmas break. However, I would say each course is limited to around 10 learners only. And the CAD course has already had, for example, I think it's 5 or 6 sign-ups before this session today. So if you are interested, I wouldn't hold back. I would get your application in as quickly as you can. So that's 15th of December for CAD for Profitable Takeoffs, the 19th of January for the other courses. So a bit about the application process then. So you do need to ask yourself, are you eligible? So those basic things were from before, like you need to be 19 plus. You need to have been a resident in the UK for 3 years and have the right to work here. Those things we do have to ask, and we will ask for sight of things like passport and what have you. That's part of the Department for Education's process, so we're obliged to fulfil their requirements. And what we would like to do is just have a quick call with you to check those things, and also that you can fit the course around your current work, stroke life, stroke family life, and fit in a little bit of the homework that you need to do each week. And you will do that online mini assessment of your maths and English, so we can help you to start the course at the right place. And you can have access to that in the run up to the course, so that you can be improving things even before you hit the course start date. There is a little bit of form filling, so we do have an application form that you will be emailed that you need to fill in, and we will help you through all of the process. So our learner engagement manager, Shannon Saxer-Lewis, who's not on this call today, but will be the person that takes you all the way through that process. And then once your application is approved, you will then get set ready for the course with the software required, the links to the training sessions, because it's all handled online, and you will be on an online session each week for the appropriate course. You don't need to go anywhere. You sit behind your computer in your home or your office or library, wherever you are attending. So you'll get all the relevant links before you kick off. So it's an application form that you're going to need to fill in. And a quick one in terms of the equipment that you require, because people always ask, what do I need? So you do need a Windows laptop or desktop computer to be installing the software on. We do have the odd Mac user, but you do need to have a Windows environment on your machine to run the software platforms that are required for the digital aspects of the courses. And you need a good internet connection, obviously, so that you can kind of watch the class live. Really you could do with your video camera on, so you need a video camera on your laptop, or invest in a camera and microphone so that you can be talking to us. We use Microsoft Teams sometimes for the one-to-one job skills meetings, Zoom meetings as well. But the main delivery is via a platform called GoToWebinar, and you just simply log in following a link that you will get each week for the session. So if you're interested, and sorry, was there a question there? Or
I'm going to say, if you're watching this webinar live, those are our live attendees, you've already managed to successfully pass that test.
Yes, you are in GoToWebinar right now. So that is an expert. Follow a link. So if you want to apply, or you've got some interest and you've got a few queries, so you can call the HBXL team, and there's the number there, which is 0117 916 7870, and the team are available 9 till 5 o'clock every single day, Monday to Friday, I should add, with your bootcamp queries. You can also email us at application-inquiries@hbxl.co.uk, and it would be really helpful if you could give us your name and phone number so we can drop you a line back. If you email that address there, we will send you the application form for you to fill in. It's a simple Word document that you enter your details into. All right. Were there any other questions that had come in, Becky? I think we've probably got up to 5 minutes question-wise.
Yeah, I've got, what if I can't make it into a session? Do I have to leave the course?
So, good question. So we do encourage live attendance as far as possible. The reason for that is that the Department for Education obviously want to see that you are engaging with your tutor and can ask questions and queries live. However, we do realise that many of you watching will have, role jobs that you're already in, or you're running your building company, or you've got children, or somebody's ill, and there'll be times where you can't attend the session live. So every single session is recorded for you and is sent out to all learners, whether you were there or not, as it acts as a really good way of kind of embedding the learning. If you were attending, you can watch bits back if you couldn't quite remember what was done. Or if you weren't able to attend, you can watch that back at your own time. And we ask that you do that quickly before the next module so that you keep the sequence of the training, as it should be delivered on the syllabus. Okay, so yeah, you can absolutely miss the odd session, no problem, but we encourage live attendance as far as possible.
I've just got one more. I'm not going to be able to do the course in the new year. Will you be running any other dates?
Okay, so another good question. So at the moment, we'll be looking at dates circa May. So there is a bit of a gap between this cohort and the next. So I would suggest if you can make it happen to get onto the January or February date, I would do so, as there is a little bit of a gap until the next lot would commence. All right.
Also worth noting that this counts as wave 3 funding. So each financial year you can undertake one Skills Bootcamp course. So you could do one in this financial year, which is wave 3, which runs up till April, and then you would again be eligible for another as soon as April ticks over.
Okay. Oh, I've just realised. I'm really sorry to correct you there, Becky. This is wave 4.
Sorry, wave 4, not wave 3.
Yes, wave 5 starts April. So you're right. You could undertake one now. Do say CAD for construction right now, and then in May you could undertake another, because you're only allowed to do one Skills Bootcamp per funding year, but the funding year stops at the end of March, so you could do another one then. Sorry, I didn't mean to correct you.
No, that's all right. Listen, you don't have to be good at maths because Joe's there.
Yeah, speed course. Becky can join soon to
Thanks.
his math skills.
And as you can see, the whole team that are looking after you on the Skills Bootcamps at HB Excel are a very friendly bunch. They are here to motivate, encourage you, and make sure that you make the progress that you desire on the course. It's all about you as the learner. We're here for you. So if you're more than a bit interested and would like to find out more, do drop us a line on those contact details that you had before, or you can go to the HB Excel website. If you hit the news section, you'll find out more. There's a page of about each of the boot camps, and also the syllabus that you can download as well in full. All right, well, on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much to our tutor here, Tom, for answering questions, and also Becky for chairing all of the questions coming in. Thank you very much. So we will say goodbye, and we do hope that you'll join us on the next cohort of Skills Bootcamps. All right, thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.